and welcome to the video on intuitive writing. What is intuitive writing? Well, intuitive writing is basically a dialogue between you and your higher wisdom or intuition or God or goddess or the universe or whatever you want to think of it as, or the great wisdom that is. But yes, it's essentially a conversation. Does that mean that you're going to start writing like that book, Conversations with God by that Neale Donald Walsch chap? Well, yes, actually. I have been doing this for years, this tool, using it before I discovered that series of books, thinking it'd be something very different, only to discover it's exactly what I've been doing. And that, yes, indeed, you can start to have those kind of dialogues, believe it or not. It's actually not even that hard. You can also see intuitive writing as a sort of archaeological dig into the great wisdom. You kind of go in and you dig around and you come back with treasures in the form of answers to your questions. So it's fantastic for decision making. But I also use it all the time for all sorts of aspects of my life whenever I want more information on anything, really. So what if you're not a writer? Doesn't matter. Yes, I mean, I am a writer, so that's could be seen as an advantage, but not necessarily, because that means that my writer mind is strong. So even if you have terrible penmanship, you don't usually write, you don't have good grammar or spelling, none of those things matter, because all that matters is that you create this flow between you and your intuition or God, the universe, and that you write things down in a way that you understand. That's all that matters. And it's a tool for everyone. So what do you need to do intuitive writing? Well, I'm sitting here with this pen. It is important that the pens that you use are very easy flow. You don't want a pen that like skips or it's like you have to push really hard. Doesn't mean they have to be expensive. This is quite a cheap pen, but it's very smooth when I write. I don't have to push very hard. You often do want to write very quickly with intuitive writing, so it is important that the pens are smooth. The paper that I use is cheap, and there's a reason for that. I don't keep all my intuitive writings. I do rip them up. Not everyone wants to. Some people like to keep them, but I'm also going to teach you a tool that I often do before an intuitive writing session where you do need to rip the paper. It's just a tool to clear out your channel. I'll teach that in another video. So it is something to think about, what kind of paper you're going to use. It doesn't have to be lined. I often write way outside the lines. This paper is lined, but it doesn't have to be lined. And then some people like, of course, their ritualistic tools, their sage, their symbols. I'm a big fan of a candle. I light a candle at the beginning of the session and I blow it out at the end. To me, that sets the space. It creates the container for me to do my reading. And really, that's all you need. Of course, quiet space in the desk is helpful. Getting ready to do your intuitive session. So your intuitive writing session means, again, that you do need to do the same prep that you do for any other intuitive session. You do need to be present and you need to be relaxed. Particularly with intuitive writing, the shoulder needs to be relaxed, because if it's tense and you're writing, your hand is going to be in your hand. You don't want to be cramped and, pushing along. The smoother and faster you're going, the better. So yes, you do want to do whatever it takes for you to be present and grounded, as discussed in other videos. Then me, like I said, I light my candle. And there is one other step we really need to talk about when we're preparing to do an intuitive writing session. You really want to make sure that you are tapping into the highest available source. So if you are worried that spirits are going to try to speak through you or something like that, well, this takes care of it. You see, spirits are a grounded, they're not a God energy. They're sort of a leftover energy, you could say. So what you need to do is set your session to the highest available wisdom. And you also want to make sure that your session is for the good of all, or as I say, white magic. And it's really quite easy. You just want to, you might have noticed I've written something. You want to write something at the top of your page when you start setting your level. And I write it and I say it out loud. So I light my candle and then I'll read what I've written. I now call upon the highest available wisdom of love or above to speak through me for the good of the better whole and all those involved. I'll repeat that. I now call upon the highest available wisdom of love or above to speak through me for the good of the better whole and all those involved. You can make up something similar that works for you, but again, you want to set your level to a high level of wisdom from a love source, and you want to make sure that it's for the good of all. And that's what you need to do to be prepared. Oh wait, one little add-on. Drink some water. It's very important to be hydrated when you do intuition. Water is a conduit. We are made of a lot of water. So yeah, drink water before. I also drink water after as a sort of clean out ritual. So I'll just drink some water. So what are the questions that you're asking? We've made a whole video about that. And I'm just going to remind you that you don't want to have too many why questions, because it's going to click into your ego, because why questions are a direct route into our negative core beliefs and our poor self-esteem. Why did the trip not work out? Oh, because you're unorganized, because you didn't plan it. You know, it's just inviting in the mind. So try to stick to how or what questions. Start general, go detailed. Tell me about the trip I intend to make to New Zealand. It opens up a pathway for intuition to guide the route. If you start with an exact question, tell me about how much money the trip will cost, you're directing it down a very narrow pathway possibility. So start general and then get more and more detailed. Yes or no questions are not great when you're a beginner. Even with me, they tap into all of our fears. You know, I will show you some techniques for using yes or no, but when you're starting, just go for like general information, go for a dig, try not to get hung up on yes, no, okay? So now I'm gonna suggest something that is very useful if you're a beginner at intuitive writing to help break the control your mind has over your sessions. And that is to switch hands. This is a mirror video, so it looked like I'm right-handed. I'm actually left-handed. So you would switch the pen. So you'd write the question with your right hand. So I'll just say, I would like to know about my intended trip to New Zealand. Okay. And then I would switch hands and answer, it is fun. So it feels very weird, but keep going with that. Now, there are some people who would say that the wisdom always has to, if you're left-handed, that won't work because your wisdom will always come better through your left hand. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think this is a fun technique to play with when you're first starting the process of intuitive writing. Eventually, you'll just stick with the hand that you usually use because you'll get versed. But that's a great way to trick your brain at first. So what if you get stuck when you're doing the intuitive writing? Again, just deep breaths, relax your body, and just keep writing. Write anything, repeat. And I would just let you know that spirit or your intuition repeats as well, especially when you're not getting a message. They might keep repeating the same answer again and again. So, you know, repetition happens a lot with intuitive writing, and that's totally fine. What are some great pointers when it comes to intuitive writing? Well, first of all, the great pointer is to start with pen and paper. People sometimes want to start with their laptop typing. That is a great tool when you're more advanced, but I find that when you're new to intuitive writing, there's something really magic about the pen's connection to the brain. I don't know what to tell you. You'll have to experience it for yourself, but I do find that it is a better entry into intuitive writing than typing on your computer. The next thing is, again, to just keep going. If you don't feel like anything's coming through and it all feels very fake and weird, just keep writing anyways. Don't stop and sit and think and let your logician, your mind, come in. Just keep writing stuff, okay? And if that means you have to repeat the question again and again, that's fine. If you write the question and the answer feels false, then just write a few different answers and see if you start to feel the nudge of intuition, okay? Another very important thing is to stay relaxed. If you're feeling really stuck, like nothing's coming, take a moment to deep breathe, to just relax the shoulders, shake it out and keep going. And again, play. If it feels weird, that doesn't matter. It's practice. And the more you do it, the better you'll get. You will know what I'm talking about. You'll suddenly feel like something's just moving through you. And the more you practice, the more quickly that will happen in each session until, yes, one day it's just going to start happening the second you light your candle and start your session. I'm going to do a little session. You can watch me. So I'm going to light my candle. I'm just going to take a minute to just breathe and become present. Okay, so I'm going to light my candle. Nice that the match worked on the first go. And I'm going to commit my session. I've already written it. Usually I would write it now, but I'm just going to read it out loud. I now call upon the highest available wisdom of love or above to speak through me for the good of the better whole and all those involved. Amen. So I will say aloud what I'm writing just because obviously I wouldn't definitely do that. I would like to travel to New Zealand. Note that my writing is big and loose and not stuck on the lines. Doesn't matter. Can you advise me on this plan? We are here. You'll notice that spirit or the universe or intuition often speaks in the plural. We are here to inform you, so they're being very practical today. I speak of them like we as well, that you are not yet ready. Oh, interesting. What is not ready? Your fear levels. They're very frank sometimes with me. They cut right to the chase. What am I afraid of? Notice I'm doing a lot of what questions. What am I afraid of? You don't like the anxiety of unknown, uncharted life. Okay. Notice it's getting big and messy. It's getting big and messy, right? You can protest. Here we go. But I am brave. You are so wonderfully. So it will write out really big when they want you to know something, and they're underlining it. Okay, underlining happens. You are so wonderfully brave. Sometimes your hand can't stop underlining. It's very weird. You think I'm making this up? I'm not. Okay. I don't waste paper. I'm going right to the side. I'm really feeling the energy through me. It's very intense. Thank you. Be grateful, darlings. Be grateful. Thank you. I'm underlining that. We are here to inform you, getting very formal today, that all will unveil itself at the right moment. Again, I'm going to say thank you. How? Here's my next question. How can I best prepare? Meditate more. It's true, I haven't been meditating enough. Meditate more, dear one. Okay, so the intuition is being very warm today. We have you in our hearts. Okay, again, thank you. It's not easy for you at this time. Excuse me. I don't know why intuition's making me burp today. But we have not forgotten you. Okay, so now that's going to make me cry. I'm going to warn you that often when you do intuitive stuff for yourself, really taps into like all of your triggers. You find yourself crying and emotionally moved all the time. Can you tell me a practical way to ensure I am ready? Meditate. Okay, yes. So I repeated the question, and like I told you, they'll just repeat the answer. anything else, you can ask for more details. It's a conversation. Feel free. Don't feel it's like a warm, friendly conversation. Anything else? Don't tell people your plans. That's true. When I tell people my plans, I sabotage them. Your life is your doing. That's nice. So you see what's happening here, okay? I'm going to do a little thing right now with yes or no questions just to show you. So it's hard to do yes or no because all your fear is going to rise up. But here we go. Will I like New Zealand? Not really. I'm going to do a why here. I'm going to say why not, because I'm not asking a general why. I'm directly asking about the detail. Too loud, I think they mean people. Is it a good idea to go? Not yet. So I haven't really done yes or no. Let's see if I can get a yes or no in here. Will I meet a very important person there? Yourself. They're so funny. Great. Thanks. You're welcome. Can I stay? No, not can I stay. So if you change your mind, just write it out. Do I... here's one that I'll be afraid to get an answer for. I've got a good idea. Do I fall in love with a person I meet in New Zealand? I'm going to add in, do I fall in romantic love? See, I can feel all my fear rising. No. Oh my God. No, 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 no. Okay, so that is a big no. Do you see that? I'm just going to hold up the paper. That's not me. That's not my fear. That was a definite no. So I need a question that's, let's see, I have to think of something that I'm ambivalent about. Well, I'm just going to show you what to do. Actually, I'm going to close that session because the energy is very big and I'm actually getting a bit sweaty. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Sorry, this is getting a bit intense to me there, and I want to show you just what can happen. So with a yes or no, okay? So if you want to know a yes or no question, when you write the question, I'm just going to make up something. Does Joe, I don't actually know anybody named Joe, does Joe want to come to the party? So let's pretend that I'm having a party and I like this person named Joe and I want them to come, but I'm not sure. And so I'm fearful they don't like me. I'm fearful they won't want to come. So what you can do is you can write yes or no. Okay, and then just keep writing yes or no and see if you start to get a buzz. And I immediately got a huge buzz on the no, and you'll find your hand starts doing that or underlining. And if you're still not sure, you can force the circle. Write the yes, okay? Write the no. You got your yes or no. And then just hover your pen and see which one, circle one, does it feel right? If it doesn't feel right, do it again. Yes, no, circle the other one. Which one felt better? Okay? You see what I'm saying? You're experimenting here. So this is how you can use the yes or no in an intuitive writing session. It's a bit trickier. As I said, I don't often use the yes or no except when I'm in a real rush and I really want a direct answer because I find it sets you up and your ego is more likely to step in, okay, and your fear. Hope that helps. That's the little end of our intuitive writing video. I hope that gave you an idea of how it all goes. And again, enjoy, play, just make it up, have fun, keep going, keep practicing. This is a wonderful tool. I think you'll really like it.